Hey, is Tom King's last Batman worth your space bucks, and did the Legion of Superheroes knock it out of the park this week? We'll get to that and more. Hey, Green Machine friends and fans of fun, we have a lot of books to get through and not a lot of time, but it was a crucial week for comics. I think it's more of a crucial week for DC Comics because of what's coming out. Next week's a little bit shorter, I'm afraid, but we do have a couple crucial Marvel titles next week. But the two big ones that we are going to... What is that beeping? Do you hear that beeping? Oh, okay. So, the two big ones that we have to get through this week, absolutely, without a doubt, are, well, first, Batman 85 is out, and the second is Doomsday Clock. And, oh my god, I was dying for both of these. Batman 85 is a very, very, very beautiful King wrap-up. I loved it, but I loved where he went with this. I love how he sort of, well, I can't spoil it, but... You know, you expect him to win, how he outplayed it. And he did something else. There was an appearance of Platinum Kryptonite, which, if you don't know what that is, I wouldn't be surprised. It was mentioned in Batman Secret Files, which we thought was a one-shot. Turns out it was a two-shot, because we got another one this year. But it was barely mentioned. It was like a page-and-a-half story, maybe 2 pages. And it was basically Batman was dealing with his own limitations. And Superman came to him and said, you know, I've got an impossible kryptonite forged in an impossible star in the center of, like, some impossible universe. And if you touch it, you will get all the powers of me. And he says that, you know, you're the only person I would give this to. And then Batman sort of, like, looked at the box that held the platinum kryptonite and got on the phone to Alfred and said, like, you know, Alfred, am I good enough? And like it was touching, it was cool, but it was barely mentioned, and it plays a role in this issue, and I think it's a good role. I honestly, I was moved, but granted, I'm such a King fanboy, it's ridiculous how much I love this run. And I don't know, I think King himself, being a CIA analyst and having seen the horrors of war, I think he gets trauma, and I think that's why King's run meant a lot to me, and meant a lot to Yogi. It feels like he understands us. And so... I was moved beyond moved. I love the end of this run. I loved everything about this run. We finally got what we wanted out of this. At least I got what I wanted out of this issue. There's so much to unpack here. And granted, okay, King was rushed. I get that. It feels like King was rushed. He didn't want to end it at 85. I get that. We are going to get the King miniseries. We are going to get Tinian the Fourth, who's going to wrap up, I think, King's vision. It feels that way. All of that is touched on in this issue. So if you are a Batman fan, it is totally a must-buy. The next thing is Doomsday Clock, and my god, the revelations that come from Doomsday Clock are insane. They throw out a timeline at one point, a literal timeline of the DC Universe and what is going to happen. And I hope they hit all those guidelines, because there is another universe mentioned. Another universe mentioned, and I don't think... I mean, I can't spoil it, but you need to go pick it up. You need to go pick it up, and you need to see what they did there. Granted, the other things to unpack is, yes, they wrapped it up. They put a bow on it. It's good. I had a great time with it. I was moved by it. I think the ultimate choices of the big bad... Well, okay, we know the big bad is Dr. Manhattan. I think his choices near the end made sense after he saw everything as a whole. It was really, really cool. But that alone, the timeline, you need to know what's going on. I hope they hit all those because that was super interesting. There is a monologue from the new Rorschach in this, and it's so reminiscent of the old Rorschach that we know from the old Watchmen of Alan Moore. It felt like it. It was perfect. So okay. Jeff Johns, I get it. You can't hit a deadline pretty much ever. But, man, you really do knock it out of the park sometimes. And I love the end of Doomsday Clock. I absolutely loved it. I had the best time with Doomsday Clock. I have little to complain about here. A lot of the stuff that they touched on in this does reference our time perfectly and frighteningly well. So, anyways, Doomsday Clock issue number 12. If you've been on board, no doubt you'll be picking this up. If you are someone who just is a collector and wants to collect the last issue, it's a good one. Come pick it up. It'll be here. Next book on our list is The Rise of Kylo Ren, Star Wars, The Rise of Kylo Ren. I love this font they used. It's such a strong font on the cover. The storyline is great. It touches on some of the Knights of Ren, and it touches on what happened to Kylo Ren when when Skywalker had a bad, saw him having a bad dream. I don't know. I'm still not happy with how that turned out. Back me up here, Yogi. If Skywalker refused to give up on his father, who was the most evil of evil Sith Lords in the galaxy, why did he flip on Kylo Ren when he was just having a bad dream?
Reasons?
I don't get it either. But, do you want to know more about Kylo Ren? It's in here. Do you want to know more about Snoke? There's a little bit more. We all want to know more about Snoke. I know. I get it. But this was, honestly, it was a really, really great read. If you are a Star Wars fan, you will love this. You will absolutely love this. I totally did. It was great. So, issue 1, The Rise of Kylo Ren's pretty darn good. Next is The Guardians of the Galaxy, issue 12. This is the Guardians of the Galaxy in its current form coming to an end. And it may be bringing back the Guardians of the Galaxy that we know. And it was really, really beautiful. I mean, it was fun. I had a fun time with it. But the end of it was almost monumental. I love the wrap-up of this story. So, yeah, you need to come pick it up. You need to come pick it up. It was great. It was awesome. I loved everything about this run, though. It was only 12 issues. Had the best time with it. Come grab this. You know the best part about this issue, one thing I gotta say, is at the end, Rocket says, you know, what went on during the year? And it flashes back through the Cosmic Ghost Rider stuff. It flashes back through Silver Surfer's, like, running with Null. Yeah, Silver Surfer Black. It flashes back to the death of the Inhumans with Beta Ray Bill. And almost everyone is like, nothing. It was so good. So it was awesome. I had a great time. Come pick this up. Next is Wellington, and this is from the creators of Lore. I've not read Lore. This is Mankey, Dawson, Kowalski, and Simpson by IDW. This is in issue 1, and this actually touches on a real world, I don't know if it's legend, but when I was a kid, I used to read a lot of paranormal books and stuff about, creepy stuff that happened to people, and one of them was like a tale of black dogs, where people would see black dogs, like ghost dogs, and they would all have red eyes, and they would find people covered with fur, like the... Yeah, and they would have cuts like that looked like animal cuts, but they never had an explanation for it. And this, it could be skinwalkers. This touches on that. This goes into that. And honestly, it was kind of cool to read. I will tell you flat out, I hate the paper stock. I can't stand it. This is the exact kind of paper stock I don't like. It's staticky. It's too smooth. I hate it. But the story was actually pretty good. The art was, I was on the fence with it at times, but it was okay. The story was great. So Wellington, if you need a little sort of old world horror, a little touch of Lovecraft in there, it felt like a slight touch of it. Issue number 1 is pretty good. Come pick it up. Next is, this is the wrap-up for Last Night on Earth. And Scott Snyder is such a brilliant writer, but man, he can get weird with it. And he definitely did in this story. There were so many weird things. People picking up lantern core rings that didn't have the willpower for it and turning into, like, giant baby constructs that would just drag around the person, like eating their willpower. Batman being a clone of himself, walking around carrying Joker's head in a jar. Well, you get it all in this. I mean, literally all. Have you ever wanted to see Joker as a Robin? You might get that in this issue. Sorry, slight spoiler. Honestly, it was a great wrap-up. I had a really good time with the story, but I gotta tell you, it really is Scott Snyder at his weirdest. It was a strange run, and the wrap-up was great. I had a good time with this story. So yeah, if you have been on board for this DC Black Label stuff, come pick it up. It's pretty darn fun. Next is Teen Titans. Who is the other? Well, good news, we finally find it out, and Cam, one of our regulars, well, he was onto it with Leviathan. He thought that Leviathan was this person, and it wasn't, but the other is this person. I can't spoil it, but it was pretty cool and messed up. I hope the other sticks around, because as a villain, his look is really twisted. And I had a good time with it. But it has brought the Teen Titans to their knees. They've been crippled by the other, and, well, it was a good time. It was honestly one of the better Titans books I've read in a while. I had a darn fun time with this. So, issue number 37, this is Glass, Chang, Hana, and Mayalo. Come pick this up. It's really good. Next is New Mutants, and this is Brisson, Felia, and Lopez. We got a lot of X books on the same day. It was pretty weird. New Mutants, on the other hand, I didn't like the first two. I mean, I liked the first one. I didn't like the second one. The third one was pretty good. This one was amazing. A bunch of the New Mutants got captured, and, well, Boom Boom goes looking for them. She leaves Krakoa. She leaves out of a Krakoan party where she's down in some whiskey. And I can't think of anything worse than a mutant that can make things explode being hideously drunk. And a little annoyed that her friends are missing. And that's where this picks up, and it was awesome. Laughed most of the way through it. It was a good time. Just had fun with it. Come pick this up. If you're a Marvel fan, this is a good book to jump in on. If you're an X-Men fan and you haven't dipped your toes in New Mutants yet, this is a book to do it. It was great. Next is John Constantine Hellblazer, and my God, I could probably talk about this all night. I'm going to try and keep it simple. John Constantine is in a different sort of world where, in this world, his world was getting destroyed by, well, the Books of Magic kid. What's his name? Tim? I can never remember his last name. Gosh darn it. But Constantine, in this book, he finds out that there is sort of a cult that is running around town, and people got to rise up in the cult, and he meets a guy who is a mute. He cannot talk, but he does have a notepad, and he does use sign language, and I can confirm the sign that they do in this book is legitimate ASL. So good for them for getting that right. That was some good representation. On top of that, oh God, if PC stuff is your thing, you need to not be reading Constantine Black Label, because his jokes and his compatriots' jokes in the story are so over the top. They are messed up. It is great. I laughed, I don't know, several times. At one point I had to pause and read some of it to Yogi. It was awesome. I laughed the whole way through it. So I love this Hellblazer run. This is 1,000 times better than the New 52 Constantine that we had last time. I'm loving this so much. This is a return to form. Come pick this up. Next is Tales from Harrow County, and this is, of course, Cullen Bunn, Franqui, and Crook. I love Cullen Bunn, but I love Cullen Bunn, Harrow County, and finally he's returned to form, and I loved it. The Haints are back, and they've got to deal with the spooky stuff. Basically, they're evil ghosts, I guess you could say. And Harrow County is just, what a mess. If ever there was a place that needed the Ghostbusters, it's Harrow County. Maybe we could get a crossover sometime. I don't know. But I will tell you that I love this. It's another Harrow County story. It's spooky. The art is always just the right amount of grit. The storyline is always good. It goes places you never quite expect. And, well, there's a soldier tragedy story in this. If you know anything about soldiers and you know what Gold Star families are, that will be touched on in this. So if that is going to set you off, maybe skip it. But I loved it. I loved it quite a bit. So anyways, Tales from Harrow County. I honestly think this is a must-buy this week. If you feel like dipping your toes in some spooky Dark Horse stuff, it's good. Next is Justice League, issue number 38. And this is on the heels of the Doom and Justice War. And I got to tell you, it opens up so well because you know, Luthor calls them out and says, like, you think you can win? And Soup says, we aren't here to win. And Diana says, we're here to go down swinging. And Batman says, in style. And my God, that just set the stage. I mean, there are so many good twists and turns in the Snyder run. And God, so Scott Snyder, Jimenez, Sampierre, Albarrán, and Sanchez, there is so much good in this Justice League run. This is everything I've wanted out of a Justice League run. We once again, we get an amazing Superman punch. You remember the 3-generation punch?
Oh, God, yeah.
This one is almost as good. It felt good. That's all I'm going to say. So issue number 38, come pick this up. More importantly, if you know, we had a superhero not too long ago make the ultimate sacrifice. And they might have returned in this issue, so you need to come pick it up. It's awesome. Next is Revenge of the Cosmic Ghost Rider, and this is Howland, Hepburn, Fabella, Cates, Shaw, and Milla. These just fly off the shelf, and for good reason. This one is amazing. You get 2 stories in this, not one. One of them is, oh, well, Ghost Rider needs to punish the wicked. So what does Cosmic Ghost Rider do? Well, he's Frank Castle. He causes a ruckus and gets arrested and gets thrown in the toughest space prison so he can judge them all. That's pretty much on par for him. And the second one has, well, the Punisher going toe-to-toe with Cosmic Ghost Rider. Because why? If Cosmic Ghost Rider went back in time, why didn't he save them? Why didn't he save them? And what Cosmic Ghost Rider says at the end of that makes perfect sense and is really deep. And that story alone is totally worth picking this up. But you get 2. And they're both really, really good stories with great art. So, yeah, Revenge of the Cosmic Ghost Rider is a must-buy. If Doomsday Clock and Batman 85 were not out this week, I would say this is our pull of the week. I don't know. It's a toss-up between those 2. But Revenge of the Cosmic Ghost Rider is a must-buy this week. Those stonks are going up. Buy Cosmic Ghost Rider stonks. Next, we're going to get into Batman Superman, The Infected, issue 5. I think this is the wrap-up, right? No, there's at least one more. But what I will say is this felt like the wrap-up. The way Batman and Superman handle this situation of their friends being infected, how to counter that, what to do, is so good. It has both of them operating outside of the box, which is something... Well, Batman operating outside of the box is where Batman pretty much lives. But to see Superman do it is different. It was good. I had a good time with it. This is Williamson, Marquez, and Sanchez. Honestly, this read has been amazing, but this issue in particular was really good. Something Batman does in it is just wicked cool, and I loved it. So anyways, come check this out. It's awesome. Next is Gwenpool goes home? It's no longer Gwenpool Strikes Back. We know she was struggling. She was trying to find her place in the Marvel Universe. She was trying not to disappear. She was trying not to get canceled. And what they do in this is amazing. Not only amazing because... Okay, look. If you're a fan of the Hickman X-Men stuff, you got to go pick this up. Because what they do with her is awesome. But it was hysterical at this. It was perfect. It broke the fourth wall in all the best ways. So you need to come pick up this issue if you're an X-Men fan. And you need to come pick up this issue if you're a Gwenpool or a Deadpool fan and you just like that sort of wackiness. This issue is amazing. It was the best one of the Gwenpool Strikes Back. Honestly, the best. So come pick it up. Hey, we're back. We're gonna we messed up with the tape, so we're gonna redo with Marauders. So Yogi, have you ever wanted this in your life? Let's see, a boat crashing through the blockade with Iceman on one side slinging ice, with Pyro on the other side slinging flames, singing 80s songs.
I literally have dreams about this.
It's so good. It's so good. I never knew I wanted that in my life. Go figure, it's Jerry Duggan and Lucas Wernick and Federico Blee. This Marauders run is still the funniest and the best of the X-Men books. I stand by that. Everybody needs to subscribe to this if you're a mutant fanboy. Trust me, it's great. More importantly, you wouldn't know this if you only ever knew X-Men from the movies, but Kitty Pryde is 1,000 times better at delivering a one-liner than Wolverine. She's always been better, but you wouldn't know it if you just watched the movies. Oh my God, she gets cornered by characters that have similar powers to Lady Deathstrike, and just delivers the perfect one-liners in there. It's so good. So, anyways, Marauders, come pick this up. It's awesome. Last book before we do our go and no-go, and this is the finale begins here. Year of the Villain, Hell Arisen, and it's awesome. This is Apex Lex versus the Batman Who Laughs and his own version of the Justice League, the Sinister Six. I think no, not Sinister Six. That's not Secret Six. Sinister Six is Marvel. The Secret Six. You guys gotta stop using similar names that confuse. Anyways, so this is honestly going into this. I was rooting for the Batman Who Laughs. Now I'm not sure. The reason being is, well, Lex has done my Justice League dirty all year, and I wanted to see him get his butt kicked, and I wanted to see it be really metal, and it is. It's very, very Dark Knight's metal. But I will say, by the time I got to the end of the issue, I felt a little scared for Lex, which is weird. For Apex Lex, I don't know who to root for anymore, because the Batman Who Laughs is just such a good, wicked monster. So anyways, issue 1, come pick this up. Honestly, it's a must-buy this week. It was awesome. Next, we're going to go through the go and no-go list. These are going to be fast, furious, maybe one-liners, to go with it. I'll just tell you if it's a go or no-go. Legion of Superheroes, go. I honestly think they're putting their Broken Earth back together. I think that's where they're going towards. It was really cool. Go. Scream, go. I haven't had feelings like this about a symbiote since Venom, which is weird, because this is Scream and it's Maniac, right? I think, but I don't know, it works. It really works. They're giving her own lore. I want to know more. She feels very Venom to Eddie Brock. So this is Scream to Alex, and it works. It feels right. So yeah, this is Chapman, Brown, Mooneyham, Barreto. Come pick this up. It was actually really cool. That was more than I should have for that. Sorry. There's a lot of people that worked on this. This is Star Wars Empire Ascendant. This is a preview of all the new comics that are coming. Bounty Hunter, the Darth Vader one, the regular Star Wars one. This goes over the origins of Poe Dameron, which is a really cool origin that I didn't know. Come pick this up. This is a must-buy if you're a Star Wars fan. Read Only Memories. I wanted to like this. This is a detective story. Okay, we're going to pause go or no-go to discuss this book for a second, Yogi. Yogi, detective story where robots are investigating for other robots about robots and whether or not love can be a real thing.
I Am Robot.
It feels more like a knockoff Blade Runner.
Yeah.
It feels like a knockoff Blade Runner. It wasn't good in my... I wanted to like it. I don't know. It didn't sing to me the way Blade Runner did. The art is really cool. It felt like a knockoff Blade Runner. I don't know. It might appeal to somebody else. If you need that Cyberpunk, come pick it up. Then it's a go. If you really, really love Cyberpunk, it's a go. Anyone else? No go. Okay, back to go or no go. Omega 2099 issue number 1. Go. It's weird, but good. Suicide Squad issue 1. This is only a go if you're a huge Suicide Squad fan or a huge Harley fan. I didn't like it, but I'm not a Suicide Squad fan. So anyone else? No go. Star Trek Picard, go. Really awesome Star Trek writing. I had a good time with it. Go. Blade Runner 2019. It was weird, but still a go. It was weird. It's a cyberpunk prison. I don't know. It was okay. The rest of the story's better. It was the weakest of all of them. Still go. Black Stars Above. Apparently this is a Native American myth? Somebody told you?
Just Star Native American is all I was told.
It's a Native American story of some kind? I don't recognize it. It's cool. It's really cool. I don't recognize it. The art is amazing. The story is really cool. It's a go. Eternals. This is really, really old-timey inspired art, and it's kind of like the origin of the Eternals. This is build up for the movie, essentially. And my God, they look like He-Man characters.
Yeah, spot on.
We think He-Man was inspired by this, and I never recognized it before. Anyways, go. But only go if you can stomach the older styles. If they're not your jam, then it's a no-go. Last God. This story still feels like a fairy tale that wasn't quite fleshed out. I don't like it. No-go. Bloodshot. If you like Bloodshot or you like the Valiant universe, go. It's not really my jam, so for me, it's a no-go. American Jesus. This is a weird one. Mark Millar announced this as Secret Project X. We didn't know what we were buying. This is a modern tale of the rebirth of Jesus. Yeah. It's weird. It was funny. I laughed a couple times. I'd say it's a go if you don't mind religion in your comics. If you do mind religion in your comics, totally skip it. Next is Ghost Spider, issue number 5. I really wanted to like this story, but I haven't really enjoyed these villains. I'm on the fence. It's a go if you really like Ghost Spider. It's a no-go if you're anyone else that's jumping in on the story. It was only it was a so-so wrap-up for an event. The Commissioner. Well, again, I don't know, kind of on the fence. It has Batgirl being awesome, which is cool. I did like the art. I'm not sure I like the Commissioner's dialogue in it, or his narration. I don't know. It's sort of a weird take on the unreliable narrator. I don't know. Maybe I'm just because I'm like Commissioner Gordon, this is sacred ground. So maybe it's the Bat fanboy in me. But it was on the fence. On the fence. If you do want a really good Batgirl story, it was cool. That part of it was cool. Critical Role, Vox Machina, Origins, issue 4. Go. 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 If you like good fantasy, this is the best stuff on the shelf right now. And oh God, I love the Barbarian in this story. He's so awesome. So anyways, go pick this up. It's awesome. Flash Forward, issue number 4. Go. This particular Wally West story was pretty darn awesome. I love seeing him fix the Dark Multiverse. It's really cool. Go. Shazam, issue number 9. Well, the family is finally united, and it's kind of awesome. Still kind of weird, but I liked it. So it's a go if you're a Shazam fan. It's a go. If you're anyone else, don't jump in on this book. Wonder Woman. If you can't tell, Silencer is involved, and this is part of the wrap-up of the big fight with Cheetah, who's been killing gods. It's a go. It's honestly, it was one of the better Wonder Womans in a while. Had a really, really good time with it. Go. Annihilation Scourge. If you've been on board with this Annihilation event, go. If you haven't, I'd still say it's a go. It was the best comic I didn't know I wanted. And this wrap-up was awesome. It was a great wrap-up. I thought I was going to hate this Annihilation miniseries, and I loved it. He-Man, Masters of the Universe. Go if you like He-Man. Don't jump in on this book, anyone else, but go if you like He-Man. It's great. Oh, and Skeletor's real name is Keldor before he becomes a Skeletor. Just a nice fact. Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Hero, issue number 28. Again, I don't like the Star Brand stuff, but I will say, seeing a Ghost Rider Jack the Surfboard from Silver Surfer makes this issue all worth it. Go.
Right.
Yeah. Conan Serpent War. We called it. It is a D&D campaign, and one of the characters involved is Moon Knight crossed over with Conan. It's awesome. He's fighting a blood god. Blood god!
Blood god!
Blood God. But, I mean, it's a serpent blood god, so it's a green blood god. You know, Stygian stuff. It's still cool. If you like a D&D campaign with Conan, come pick this up. That's such a weird niche thing. Nightwing. Is Nightwing the new Talon? Well, maybe, but we might also finally be getting our Dick Grayson back. And we know that this run is coming to an end. So, honestly, if you're a Nightwing fan, this is better than what we've seen in quite a few issues. So, go. Issue 67. X-Force. Go. Go. It's awesome. It's wicked. It's still pretty darn cool. I'm having a good time with this X-Force run. Go. History of the Marvel Universe was a very touching ending. Granted, we got all the history, but I didn't realize I would like this ending as much as I did. Go. Wonder Woman, Dead Earth. Oh, we hit the Black Label stuff. Oddly enough, I didn't like the art so much, but really loved the story. It's essentially Wonder Woman, you know, has out-survived everyone, and she goes and picks through the Batcave and sort of gathers things that belong to Bruce, and then goes to fight like in a Mad Max Gladiator arena. And I didn't realize I wanted this, but I did. It was pretty awesome. She's sad about the Earth falling, but it was really cool. I don't like the art, but the art feels like the Little Bird art. Maybe it's the same. Oh, it is. It's Mike Spicer. Isn't that the same guy who worked on Little Bird? I think it is. Maybe, yeah. But it was a pretty good showing, oddly enough. Joker, Killer Smile. Well, it's Jeff Lemire, and it's definitely a mind screw. It's just sort of a weird mind screw. I want to know still where it's going. I don't know. I really like the first one. This issue, the art is amazing. The story's just... It needed to be more wicked than it was. But yeah, it was still pretty good. Come pick this up. It's a go. It's a go. Did I forget to say it's a go? It's a go. Harleen. Harley's fall is kind of romantic, which is messed up to say because of how awful that situation becomes, but it was kind of a romantic fall and an ascent to a villainhood, I guess you could say. I dug it. I don't think it was a wicked pleasure, one that I probably shouldn't admit, but I really dug it. Harleen book 3, go. If you've picked up issue number 2, I don't think issue 1 was really necessary because we know that story. But issue 2, it started getting a little deeper on the details, and issue 3 was awesome. And that's our show for this week. Oh my God.
That's it.
We made it through it. So we're not going to do drawing this week. We don't have any posters to give away. But come in. We've got a bunch of stuff, a boatload of new stuff. And we got sales coming. Yeah. So yeah, come in.
Is Wednesday the big sale we're going to be doing?
Sure.
All right, 75?
Yeah, 75% off back issues on Wednesday.
Starting Wednesday. Yeah.
Starting Wednesday. Come clear us out of back issues, please.
Yes.
So, and I'm going to do 10.